Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cybergamer Steelseries LOL Challenge. This is the second semi-final best of three. We had the last one yesterday, and this is going to be Cplay versus TCM Gaming. I am Spuddington, and I'm going to be joined today, once again, by Pulse.
Hello. So probably the thing to mention first off is that I will be commentating over the stream just for the duration of the champion bans and picks, and then when we get in game there will be no delay at all. So Studdington's just going to kind of bring me through these champion picks and bans as they happen and as I get an advert on the stream that I'm casting. Fantastic.
No worries, because there's nothing actually happening. We have actually just got the lobby being quitted by D-Man, 403 being his full name. We have therefore got to wait for him to rejoin the lobby, or possibly not. I don't know. We now had somebody else leaving as well. It's very exciting.
Okay, so for the people complaining about lag, this is not an issue on our end, it is in fact Twitch. So the problem right now is that we can only stream in 720p plus. So that will cause some lag issues. I would ask you to bear with us, but unfortunately there's nothing we can do from our perspective. So by saying lag in chat, it won't improve the situation. I'm sorry to tell you this.
We have sent few messages to Twitch. You know, we've contacted Gunrun and a couple of other people as well, but we did in fact do so yesterday as well. But it does appear to still be an issue. We hoped it would be fixed by now, and we were told it would probably be fixed by now as well. But these things happen. Sometimes things just break in exactly the same way they were broken yesterday, immediately after you fix them. That is a genuine possibility. But I think actually, while we're just kind of faffing around with technical issues and all the rest, I think we're probably just going to go back to a break. It's probably not worth you, unless you have anything particular to talk about, to regale us with an interesting tale or anything, Pulse.
No, not particularly. I would say that Gragas is thirsty and we're on 27 out of 30 barrels. So when that hits 30 barrels, a Pulse Fire Ezreal will be given out. So that is just 3 barrels if you want to go over there. Donate. Yeah, that will be an option later on today. So if you want to get your hands on that, then go over to chaostv.eu. Gragas is thirsty.
Yeah, that would be a lovely way to support us and support this stream in general. We will also be running another couple of events tomorrow, and in fact, it does look like we have some reconnects into the lobby. Still waiting on D-Man though, so hopefully he will join. And it's not D-Man the commentator. It's D-Man. If you want, it's D-Man. If you want to be technical, which is the best kind of correct. So you do always want to be technical. However, he has not yet rejoined. He is pending that invite. So since it might not take quite as long as would necessitate a break, maybe we'll just have a little bit of a chat, because I was just thinking, very recently, Pulse, Eve in solo queue as well as the LCS, I'm discovering as of today, appears to just suddenly, everyone seems to just decided she is brokenly overpowered, because she is like a permanent ban in solo queue for me at the moment. By the way, I'm in Plat 1, and according to the MMR Finder, I might hit Diamond soon. But do you feel like she's a character that a lot of mid laners should be picking up soon?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's just like Eve or like Eve in general or just Eve jungle or Eve mid. Personally, I've seen a lot of Eve jungle and it's super strong. Like it's difficult to play against because you need to play in a different way, and that's something people aren't really used to. Having that stealth means that you have to buy pink wards in those, generally when you do have those pink ward fights, that's going to happen anyway, but it's difficult to play against, especially when he hits that level 6. Roaming capability of Eve is super strong, and this seems to happen with quite a few champions. Like every now and again, someone everyone thinks is trash tier just like suddenly becomes amazing for some reason, and it just kind of happened. I mean, it made more sense when like Ezreal came back into contention because of all the way items work, and they were making more interesting items with on hit effects. But Eve has just come out of nowhere.
I'm actually curious, by the way, do you happen to know off the top of your head whether Eve would apply Muramana procs twice with her E? Because I know the damage actually ticks twice, but I don't know if it applies that proc twice, because it is single target. I do know that much.
Yeah, I mean, it should do. I mean, Jax's E, no wait, no, Jax's W applies it twice with the extra damage from that proc. So therefore, Eve should too.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Wiki.
Yeah, you go look that up while we wait for everyone to reconnect to the lobby. We have actually got everyone back in the lobby at this point, I should probably clarify, but we are waiting on the start of the game. We'll just send them a little message saying, are we ready? Broken Shard is saying that time is money. I am not convinced your time is money, Broken Shard. He's maybe about to make a heritage joke, and that would be very, very poorly in very, very poor taste because of Broken Jud's particular heritage. But he says he's able to get away with it sometimes. Well, we are continuing to talk about things, and I will just say to are we? How best to phrase this? Are we? What are we waiting for something specific, or you don't want to be rude to people? You just want to be like, hey, people, do you think we could do the game?
Can we do what
rather
we
than...
came here to do, or not? Is that not a thing? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, I decided to go with the colloquialism approach instead.
Okay,
saying,
good.
Hey, what's the hold up? And I'm being told to stay out of it because it does concern me, Broken Chod. That's a shame, but we are continuing onwards with just not a huge amount going on at the moment. I cannot for the life of me determine what exactly is wrong. Some guy is refreshing himself. He is sick. Okay, so is he? I mean, is he literally Technicolor yawning in the sink or something as we speak? I don't.
Technicolor yawning. Is this a reference to something? Because I feel it must be.
Well, it's a euphemism. Well.
Okay, good. Stop.
Yeah, have you never heard of various
Technicolor yawning.
other words? It's like you're yawning and then Technicolor substances come out.
Relaxation, maximization was the one yesterday.
Relaxation, maximization. I do enjoy a good Pokemon Master. I like to work in things like that. It's nice to do.
Yeah, it's fun.
You get the one guy in the corner who's like, yeah, I get that.
My brand.
My brand.
Yep. Well, you can tell that we're just kind of not doing anything because there's very little to talk about because nothing has happened. We have no picks. We have no bans. We don't really know what's going on, so we're just filling time with quite literally nothing. Oh, we could do another poll, which I will win.
Whoa, I will win. I like the way you think of a poll not as a way to get like information. You don't think of it as like discerning the truth. You think of it as a competition. You're like, I want to be right about this.
Well, if you're gonna argue salmon versus tuna,
I didn't argue anything of the sort. I'll have you know.
We argued what was it? Can't even remember.
Versus scones.
That was it. Scones won by a landslide.
I don't know why. If you have a hot crumpet, that's nice. If you have a hot scone, that's like.
Well, no, you wouldn't have a hot scone, though, would you? You wouldn't be like, you know what? I'm gonna have a scone. You know what would be fantastic with the scone? Eat.
What? I heard eat.
Eat, as in like putting it in the oven. Because that's not a good idea. You shouldn't heat your scone.
Oh,
cold.
Right. Yeah. Well, I wasn't hearing the H. You should probably try enunciating a little clearer there, Pulse. I was just hearing eat, so I was just hearing, you know what's good with a scone? Eat.
Well, that's good. Also, I think my mic sensitivity is low for some reason. I mean, high. I mean, yeah.
It's doing a thing that you don't want it to do. But I have received a little bit of a suggestion here. We could always do a poll that's relevant to the actual game we are hoping to cast here. But people bearing in mind here that it does seem that D-Man is quite ill. From the sounds of it, he has left it several times. Left the lobby, several times. But who do the people in chat think is going to win, TCM or Cplay? I think that would be the poll to run here.
Okay, so if you want TCM to win, or you think TCM is going to win, type 1, and if you think Cplay is going to win, type 2. And we'll see how this works out. Rufus Dark says, warm scones are nice with jam, but no cream. You have to have scones with cream. Like, I don't understand how you could not. I mean, like, why would you eat a scone without cream?
But do you though?
What?
I've always had scones with just like, I don't know. I don't necessarily have that many scones, to be honest.
It's kind of
not really a scone
bread
person.
kind of sweet bread with
I know what it's
jam.
like. I mean, it's not like I've never had a scone. I
No,
live in
but like
England.
there's nothing sort of mellow about it. It's just straight up jam and sweetness.
Well, so
Not
it's like a
it's not
Subway.
good. I don't
Uh,
know.
I'm poking fun at Subways. Have you never had a Subway?
I'm not for a couple of years. No, actually, I don't think I've ever had a Subway.
Because people have this strange delusion about Subway because you know what they are like. Basically, you go
Yeah,
in and you're like, I want this
sandwiches.
type of bread and I want this type of lettuce and processed meat in my sandwich, and then you toast it and put some cheese on it, and it's like quite nice. And people are like, but people have this strange delusion where they think it's healthy because they're like, it has lettuce as an option for it. So that means if I have like cheese on it and beef in it, like
Right.
mechanically recovered beef, that makes it healthy. See,
Okay.
because it's a sandwich, not chips, basically. But the thing people seem to not really know about Subways is quite how sweet the bread actually is. If you actually taste just the bread from a Subway,
Yeah.
it's kind of like eating shortbread. It's
Hmm.
like with a different texture. It's really quite sweet. It's kind of
Is it
amusing
good
to me.
though?
It
Does
is
it?
nice. It's
Is
nice.
it?
I actually prefer it to stuff like a McDonald's at this point.
So could you go into the Subway and be like, I'd like bread, and for the filling, I'd like bread.
No,
Would that not
no,
fly?
that wouldn't
Okay.
fly. You'd be like, what? You could probably ask for some bread with nothing in it, I guess. They'd look at you and be like,
£5,
you're
sir.
weird and this is
Oh.
expensive for you. But, yeah. Yeah, as fast food goes, it's nicer,
Might
I
have
think.
to visit one of their fine establishments at some point in the future.
Yeah, but then again, I think at this point I actively dislike things like McDonald's.
Right.
So that might
Okay.
be why I prefer Subways, whereas I actively like Subway. I mean, I've just found like I used to like them, but nowadays I just find I eat it and I'm like, I know this is horrifically unhealthy for me, and I'm simultaneously not really enjoying it. It's just kind of like chips that are usually slightly soggy, and it's like, oh, that was disappointing.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like this is bad for me. That's a good thing, and then you feel bad again.
I,
I mean, that's how I think of it. It's like I go for a takeaway or something, and it's like this tastes really nice, sort of, because it's greasy, but it's greasy, and then you're like, oh, I just ate all of it, and yeah, I'm fat.
You are fat. I mean, that's just sort of independent of what you eat. Well, not independent, but
In I only
yeah.
have water. I survive on water. Yes, I am still fat.
Did
It's
you
a
know there's
medical
someone in
condition.
America that tried to do that recently?
What?
Trying to
Survive on
survive on
water?
sunlight and water and
Did it
tea.
work?
No, as far as I'm aware, I don't actually know. And to be fair, you can survive for a very long time without any food at all.
Like
Say
7 days.
a month. No, I think you can actually go for
Really?
a good old month without any food. As long as you're getting water, you'll survive for
Right,
quite a
okay.
long time. Also depends on your fat reserves. So you would survive, like if you were that guy, from the film where that guy gets stuck in a ravine, like his arm gets stuck and he has to cut it off.
127 hours. Yeah.
Something like that. You'd have been fine. Like, I mean, obviously, fluid might have been an issue, but you can always like, I don't know, cut
Drink
off a
my
bit of
own
flesh
blood.
and then
Yeah.
like
Okay. Yeah.
take it and like squeeze it into your mouth. Just like a big bit of fat and skin, and just like take it over your head, and it's like one of those old water skins.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be
except with
honest. Like, if
blood.
you're gonna take off your arm, you might as well make the most of it.
Yeah, I'm also told actually, by the way, that drinking your own urine is a really bad thing to do in a situation like that. Because apparently, it's like saying
It's
I want
toxins,
my
isn't it?
kidneys to shut down
Yeah, I
really
mean-
soon. Like I
yeah.
hate my kidneys. I want them gone.
It's mostly toxins when it comes out. I mean, you could filter it if there's sunlight, but if there's no sunlight, then you're kind of screwed. So yeah, for people who have just joined us, I know there's been a large influx of people. Basically, we're just waiting on the player. I believe Deman is what we're calling him right now, is currently sick, so we're just waiting on him to freshen himself up before we get into the game. So for now, we're just kind of burbling on, and that's quite literally all we are doing.
Yeah,
Yep.
do you think I got a one message? I think they were saying they might try and replace him with one of their admins. Yeah, they're getting a sub apparently. As a
Sub me in.
we're going. Yeah, I'll play for him. and I'll commentate at the same time. Yeah, in the mind of the
Make
player.
it happen.
Yes, I wish. But yeah, they're getting a sub player, that is, not a sub sandwich, which is what we have been discussing earlier on. And I am seeing the stream actually do some funky things where it loads the video multiple times. But yeah, bit of a thing we're gonna just have to wait through. Not much other.
Bring up another
options
topic.
available. Another topic to talk
There's
about.
more people in chat now. I don't understand most of it because most of it's in a different language. But if you are interested in joining the IRC chat on Twitch, you can go ahead and do that. Ask us a question. We will do our best to answer it and comment on anything else that is happening in the chat. Obviously, things that we can understand is something we'd like to convey, but until then, we'll just pick a topic at random.
We never ran that poll as to who would think whether you think TCM or Cplay.
We did.
Did we? Where?
Yeah, there was some 1s and 2s a little while back. 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 2.
I've only got 1, 4, 2. That was it.
Well,
very disappointing, to be honest.
Well, step it up, Spuddington. Well, it looks like people are favouring TCM, so well, TCM are apparently going to win.
It is possibly quite, a logical conclusion that if D-Man
isn't here,
that they might win. That is true. I've got to say, you never know though. I've seen 4v5s won and lost before by extraordinary levels of throwing. Not very often, but it does happen. Even in challenger tier games, that can.
We have a question.
Whoa.
What is your favourite skin, Spuddington?
I don't really know. I've only got like 2 skins, and one of them is Gentleman Cho'Gath. But I haven't played Cho'Gath himself in like a year. And it's a good skin, but I've always got to say I really quite like Jade Dragon Wukong.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can actually get that one anymore. Can I? I could get that or something. I could get that. Well, I haven't got it, but I do like it because it's very kind of cool.
The colour scheme is nice.
Yeah.
Especially on the abilities. I think for me personally, it would be Pink Taric all the way. Because yeah, Pink Taric is amazing.
Well, you could try having a non-cliched response.
Or no, it's me. Any more questions? What was your first skin? I can't remember.
Gentleman Cho'Gath.
Well,
so I have like 2 skins. One of them is Gentleman Cho'Gath. I think the other one might be Tempest Janna. I also have Victorious Janna. Oh, and I have Gukin Sona. And I have, oh man, I've got Headhunter Master Yi. I forgot about that. That's going to be coming into its own when they rework him. I forgot I'd spent so much money on this game, which I've played for like 2 years now.
I need to buy Super Teemo. Like, the thing with Teemo skins is, like, you don't buy them because they're cool, you buy them because they're more annoying. Like if you are going to play, there's 2 types of Teemo players, right? There's the Teemo players who are like, Teemo's a pretty cool character, I like playing him. And then there's the Teemo players who are like, I just want to play the living embodiment of Satan and annoy everyone in my game. And for those certain types of players...
I have to announce for you today that the game has actually started.
Oh, amazing.
We've actually got bans coming out really quickly, and
okay.
You will be casting from the stream for the duration of this, so I will just let you know what all 6 of the bans are, because they come out almost instantly. We've got Renekton, Nautilus, Thresh, we've got Draven, Jason, Jarvan, and the instant lock-in Nunu from TCM.
No, good stuff. So, Renekton, okay, I would say that's a blanket ban, but we haven't actually seen Renekton banned yesterday when we had those, the series between a team and another team, which are currently escaping me. But Draven is, for now, until Draven gets nerfed, with that passive being reworked, I should say reworked, not nerfed. We don't know how it necessarily will pan out. It's a nerf.
I'm sorry, it's a nerf.
Then Nautilus in the jungle, very standard ban. Jace as well, to great effect. We saw him yesterday. Jarvan and Thresh, very common. Renekton is that lane bully, and it makes sense. He's still a tier 1 pick. We don't always see it banned out, but since Nunu has not been banned out, Nunu will immediately be picked up. He's just kind of this character which just gets up in your face, counter jungles you, and then snowballs you and just runs away laughing. So, not much to say there. Nami and Shen have been picked up by Cplay.
Yeah, and by the way, yesterday's semi-final game was a Nexus versus AT Gaming, with a Nexus coming out on top overall. So yeah, they are going to be playing against the winner of this game in the final in this series, I should say, not this game. If this game itself is the one that's determining, I'll be rather confused. But we do have the Nami and we do have the Shen. Nami being seen a lot more lately, is a very, very strong support, good in most situation, and really, really punishing early on if you land that bubble. Incredibly strong CC, 1.5 seconds at level 1, which is just massive, plus it's AoE, and if you are, a real, I hesitate to say baller, maybe I should say bubbler, but if you are a Master Squirtle player, you can in fact hit 2 people with it at once, and that is just like saying, we're going to win this trade at bot lane, whatever happens. But we do have, up against that, Sona and Caitlyn.
Yeah, I mean, the poke is really what you want more against Nami than anything, because though Acro Prison has a pretty decent range on it, getting all in that trade situation, Nami is strong, getting poked down, not so much. He does have that ability to push them away with that Acro Prison, also has the ability to use Ebb and Flow to keep them in contention, but at the same time, poke isn't Nami's best friend. So we are waiting for the rest of the pick coming from Cplay, but it's worth commenting about the Shen pick. Shen is a very solid pick. He's difficult to push out, he just kind of sits atop. If you can outplay him and take him out in lane, good job. But other than that, he just kind of doesn't do much and just carries on pushing the lane until you get to that stage where you're split pushing, his team gets ahead, split pushes, becomes a horrible situation where you stand united, gets in that team fight. It's going to be a 4 versus 5, or Shen just kind of falls flat in his face.
One thing I have seen though in solo queue, in fact I've done it myself as of yesterday, is running proxy singed against Shen, because the thing that Shen really can't deal with at all, at least in the early game, is pushing really, really hard, because he's incapable of destroying waves, at least until he gets a Sunfire Cape. And he's actually so vulnerable to that proxy singed style, farming behind his tower, that his tower will start to actually just get ground down. He has a choice between either sacrificing his health or sacrificing his tower's health to just try and keep himself in it. It's actually a really, really brutal way of dealing with Shen, at least early on, and it lets Singed get to that really, really beefy state where he just kind of runs around the map farming everything, which is super, super scary. Does usually sacrifice some death though, and I don't think we'd be seeing proxy Singed in arranged 5s. It's a little bit more risky of a strategy, I think is probably the best way of putting it. But we do have that Eve pickup along with the Varus. And as I was mentioning, Eve now kind of seems to have become much more of a popular pick over like the last week or so.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of chat about Eve, but I'll pass that over to you in a second. But Varus is just very solid, and they had that all-in potential at bot lane with Nami. Makes sense, so we'll see maybe some action happening down at that bot lane. Broken Shard picking up that Zed, not sure if that's going to be on him or someone else. Broken Shard probably going to be in the jungle, so probably with that Nunu pick, never know if they want to swap it up. But still, Zed coming in, so we have Lux and Zed, so kind of like a snipey composition where they get those picks and then they engage. They have decent AoE, but they're more looking at that picking and have a pretty strong laning phase as well. So I'll pass over Eve to you, Spuddington, because you probably have more knowledge on her than I do.
Well, I've been playing her a fair bit lately, and I am only a platinum player, so I can't, say for the certainty that this is absolutely the strengths of Eve. I am not, Spontex. I am not a challenger tier player who's played Eve forever and is incredibly strong on that champion. But she is very, 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 very strong in terms of just firstly having that late game scaling, and secondly just having that ability to roam around. And it does look at the moment like they're going to be running that jungle Evelyn here. She's running the smite at the moment, and they have that Orianna pickup with the Shen. So unless they swap it up and put Shen in the jungle, who I don't really like in the jungle, it's probably going to be that Eve jungle. And I personally don't run Eve in the jungle so much myself, but it may be they didn't want to run a mid against Lux. She doesn't really cope well with that ranged poking, bursting style, which is just incredibly harsh to play against. But if she is in that jungle, she's going to be very slippery. She's going to be very hard to pin down. When she's hit 6, she will have brutal, brutal ganks. And she's probably also going to build that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, which will give her, post that item, Some pretty significant sustained damage as well, so she gets to be a really, really solid jungler. Does have a bit of a risky early clear though, and I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to keep control of that jungle going up against the Nunu. That will be just it's Nunu. It's going to be hard if you want to try and keep any of your buffs to yourself, and if you do lose them since the last patch where they were made more valuable in terms of experience, it's more expensive than it ever was. But we will see how it works out in the game. I think also she would have done pretty poorly against Zed as well if that had happened in the top lane. But as I was saying, while we wait for the delay timer to tick down, we will be seeing the Evelynn jungle in-game when that gets underway in just a couple of minutes after this break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for a bit of a delay there. We are actually 3 minutes into this game, and it's got to be said, the players in the lobby this time did not actually enable spectators, and there is actually some action coming in. Phylox in this top lane is going to be taking a lot of damage from Nunia. He's going to be taunted up along with Matroko by Shen. Phylox now going low, has been ignited. Nunia gets taken out though by Matroko. Matroko putting down a bit of damage in return on Koi. That is going to be the end of that action. But as I was saying, in this event, the players in the lobby who created it did not enable spectators, and because there is only 2 spectator slots, one of these slots is occupied by Rauben, one of them is occupied by me, and that means that Pulse is no longer able to actually get into this game to spectate it. That should be fixed hopefully for next game. But I think the intent for us is to run this with just me casting this time. It's not a lot of fun to do trying to do analysis casting when you are several, like 20 seconds behind what's actually going on screen, and it just makes it all very, very awkward indeed. So unless you have any particular comments to make, Pulse, I will just see you whenever this game ends.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry guys, but you won't be seeing me for this game, but next game I should be around. So take it away, Spuddington, and, well, not much we can do from our end.
Yeah, we do actually see Nunia going into that top lane, doing a bit of damage there to Phylox. We'll heal that up pretty much instantly. And we are seeing the Jungle Eve syndrome right now. We have got double pink wards in this top lane. TCM do not want to be caught out, and they did opt to swap this up, which has given them quite a bit of flexibility here. So they will have that ability to pressure down this tower early on. And as I mentioned when I was talking about Proxy Singed, one of Shen's weaknesses is he's not very strong at pushing. He's hard to actually kill when he's at his tower, but for Caitlyn, who will poke from a mile away with her auto attacks, I think we'll just be able to take out that tower very, very quickly. You can see it's already dropped significantly below half health, and it's taken significantly more damage than the bottom tower, which is being babysat almost more heavily there by Broken Shard. We do see Nunia hanging around, though. We'll be looking to do that wave clear for Shen. But at the moment, it's basically jungler clears the jungle, takes the 2 buffs, and then just 2v2, at top. We are seeing the taunt going out. Does not land there. Matroko will punish for that and has got those double buffs from that earlier engage. Koi is very, very low. And we are seeing Nunia taking the poke from Sona, and in return we are it's just this constant barrage of damage. But I feel that after this push, the tower will surely go down. We've actually got Matroko going under the tower though. We are seeing Phylox tanking the tower. Double kill goes down to Caitlyn, and that is a really, really big turn of events. That will give Caitlyn huge gold in this early game. You can expect to see them take out this top tower, and rotate towards that bottom tower, take that out as fast as possible as well. And with a 3-kill advantage, it's going to be relatively easy for Caitlyn, that dominant early game carry, to push around Varus, who will have a lot of difficulty dealing with that. Will have to try and take this tower himself, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it fast enough. I will say, though, Caitlyn is taking a long time to take out this top tower. He's probably just trying to dump as many creeps into it as possible. So we are seeing this recall now coming out, and we are in turn seeing that top tower go down to the creeps. Shen has not yet hit level 6, but will do fairly shortly, and will, once he has done that, be able to roam around this map very effectively. We are now seeing Cplay actually pushing hard on this bottom lane. They are going to try and put in some damage. They will try and take out the tower if they can, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that in any reasonable amount of time. Caitlyn will get there before that tower has gone, surely. We are seeing Eve, though, moving towards this blue buff, has in turn got that Spirit Stone. We'll be going for that Spirit of the Elder Lizard later on. And yeah, like I say, what we've got right now is a situation where TCM have a very dominant early game AD carry, and if they want to take this pushing advantage, they very much can. It will be a difficult road ahead for Cplay, because Shen is not going to have an easy place to farm, and it looks like that bottom lane is intending to freeze for TCM. They will just make sure they can deny Varus as much as they can, and they can make sure they get as much farm themselves as possible. Zed may have a little bit of a difficult time holding his top lane against Shen, but he will have that babysit from Broken Shard whenever he wants it. Broken Shard wandering off into his jungle now. He's looking maybe towards that mid lane. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe no. He's actually just going to be kind of walking in circles. And going for that blue buff. Will probably donate that to Lux in the near future. And that will give her that early game pushing power. That will give her that early game strength to just kind of win that mid lane against a non-blue buffed opponent. But she's up against another blue buff, so it's not really going to matter too much between the two of them. They're both very highly mana dependent, very high poke AP mids. Sometimes when you get both of the mids getting that blue buff, it actually does change the kind of power balance, because some mids are more reliant, but Lux and Orianna are very kind of similar in that respect, and now very, very well, in fact, they're just very, very similar. In fact, they're both supporty mids. They're both high burst. They both have a lot of CC to give away. And they do have shields as well. But we are seeing Caitlyn now pushing on that bottom tower. Eve is circling around. Has now got that Agony's Embrace available. And you have got Caitlyn with the full BF sword versus the Bilgewater Cutlass on Varus. Nunia is standing right next to a pink ward right now. Broken Shard is kind of... They know she's there. They absolutely know she's there. And in fact, Trocco and Phylox just kind of walking out. They are very, very, very aware of Eve. And you can see just the sheer amount of vision is just telling as to what they are afraid of right now. That bottom lane with the pink wards absolutely everywhere. JWoww now actually in this top lane doing alright. I'm kind of surprised at how squishy Shen is, but I guess he was just denied of a lot of farm. Nunia will see Broken Shard here, and it does look like Kevko is going to be able to just push up that mid lane to the tower. And we see Nunia just jumping in there, doing not a whole lot of anything actually. And Lux throws the light binding, doesn't land. That's going to be, you know, a minor concern in the end. But blue buffs, nobody really cares about just missing one spell. So we will continue to see this fairly passive playstyle until Eve can make something happen. I think she will be going for it soon, though. They kind of have an idea of where most of the pink wards are, and that means they're going to go for this. Tidal Wave comes down. We've got the Agony's Embrace on Phylox. They're actually looking to... Nunia is looking to burst down Phylox, but everyone else is looking to burst down Matrocco, and they've split their aggro. Don't think it's going to matter, though. Matrocco will go down. Does get taken out by Nunia. Nunia going very, very low as a result, though. Broken Shard will come in through this bottom tower area. Is just going to be kind of here to mop up the farm, though. I don't think he's going to achieve overly much. He is actually walking up, though. We'll just put down the snowball, say hi, and then bye. Go back to farming this bottom lane. He will actually be quite a serious pain in the rear, actually, here. He is way too tanky for anyone in that bot lane to actually fight. And the burst damage from that Ice Ball means he will actually harass people out if he chooses to stay, but not going to do that. He's a jungler, wants to make the most efficient usage of his time that he possibly can, and it actually looks like he's decided that the best way to do that, take advantage of Nunu's sustain, go for that dragon play. He will be interrupted, I suspect, by Cplay's team here, but they should be able to pick this up before Cplay can really put down any harass. Broken Shard has the sustain, has the damage to take down that dragon, but they are now interrupting here. We've got Phylux taking a lot of damage. We've got Nunia with the Stand United going after Phylux. Phylux now in a lot of trouble, gets taken out, but the Channel did get interrupted, I think. Was it cancelled somehow? We do see no Chantal, let's call that, going after the Belgian Beast. Belgian Beast in a lot of trouble, and Nunia now taking a lot of damage from Matroco. Has to flash out, has been netted, did use the slow break from that W, and will get out of there. But we do see a bit of harass put down onto everyone, but JWoww is in the area, not going to be able to do all that much. I've got to wonder though, I don't know how Shen's ultimate, he popped the shield and he clearly intended to come in with Nunia, but it didn't happen. And I don't know how that's even possible for JWoww, because Zed does not have any hard CC insofar as I'm aware, unless I've gone completely mad. So I just don't know what happened. Maybe it was some weird bug. Nunia coming in on this bot lane though. Builds towards a Cutlass on Matroco. Matroco also hitting with the Chains of Corruption. Nunia is tanking the tower though. Doesn't go down. Nunia does take quite a lot of damage once again, but she is now this jungle Eve that's kind of getting off the ground in a serious way, and that could become a real threat to play against. Eve, if she gets too far ahead of the game, just becomes crazy, because she just appears out of nowhere, bursts someone down 100 to 0, or, you know, sticks to them and takes them down 100 to 0. And that makes it so hard to move around the map, especially for squishy characters. And TCM have picked a fairly squishy lineup. Lux would be a viable target for Eve. It does have that shield, but easily taken out if that Eve gets too far ahead. She's not yet at that point, but she's starting to get scary. And she is starting to get to a point where she can set up kills extremely effectively for the rest of her team. She's one of those snowball champs, which is really, really hard to deal with. And actually now JWoww in this top lane, getting aggressive on Koi. Koi just taking some auto attacks to the back of the head. Doesn't look like anything too much is going to come of it, though. It's just some harass being put out. Shen was feeling paranoid, though, and didn't want to turn around and fight. I think he just thought, well, if there is someone here to support JWoww, I'm going to be in real trouble if I turn and fight. And if there isn't, I'm just going to take a bit of harass. It won't be the end of the world. We do see Nunu now in this bottom area. Broken Shard looking for something. They do have a pink ward. This is actually a side effect of having pink wards absolutely everywhere to spot out Eve, as you also know where the enemy wards are on the whole. It's going to be... He's just kind of passively waiting this out. We do also see mid lane Kevko here. Orianna looking to take these wraiths out. And we do see some damage coming down in this bot lane. Chantao in a lot of trouble there. Not going to be getting completely taken down. Broken Shard has shown himself now though, but it looks like that isn't the main problem. They are just going to look to push down this tower. Nunia is hanging around. Do not know if TCM know that he's there. He is actually putting down the harass there on Matroco. Matroco taking a little bit of damage from the Elder Lizard. Chantao getting harassed down. Will make it hard for him to farm under this tower. Will also make it hard for him to clear the wave. We do see Lux and Orianna now meeting each other in the river. We have got the auto attacks coming in. We've got the ball. We've got the damage. We've got the slow. We've got the extra damage. Shockwave comes down. Dodges the bubble. Belgian Beast is rooted. Gets taken down, I think, by the Ignite tick there from Kevko. Kevko now in a lot of trouble. Has got Broken Shard sticking to his head. We've got Chantao trying to take himself out of the danger zone there. Nunia is very, very low, but has been shielded. Will be getting the absolute zero from Broken Shard. It will come out, but not channeled enough to take anyone out. Nunia did get the Stand United on him, though. Koi coming in. And I do feel like JWoww maybe is going to be regretting the fact that he wasn't there in that top lane to push it out when that Stand United came down. But a very, very hairy kind of fight there. And this gap of gold between the two teams is fairly insignificant at the moment. About 0.5k, 500 gold. That's, you know, a little bit. That's a kill or two there, but that's pretty much accounting for the scoreline difference. And that dragon, when it pops up, is probably going to be the next opportunity for a big advantage to come out for either team. We do see Nunia actually in a battle to the death with red buff right now. Is actually coming very, very low on this health. Is actually going to use the hate spike. Will take out that buff with a sliver of health left. And we are now also seeing Koi getting to that stage where he is going to be a real pain for someone like Zed to deal with. He's going to be that tanky, sustained damage source. JWoww will have a lot of trouble harassing him down. Will get taunted, in fact. He will be taking a bit of harass, Vorpal Blades, auto attacks, and he just can't put the damage down in return to actually trade efficiently. And that means that Koi will have to be caught out. It might happen, though. We do have Broken Shard coming in here. Koi is going to be a scary thing, though. JWoww does have to be very, very alert that he might get taken out. JWoww is just putting down the poke, but Broken Shard is going to put down so much damage over time, just sitting there, iceballing, 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 that he's going to take him out eventually, and and JWoww comes in for the finisher, getting that gold on the assassin, being more useful than Nunu himself, who does not so much scale as much as just get more tanky. That bottom tower will go down. Caitlyn not available to stop that happening, so looks like we might be in a bit of a lull, although JWoww could be in trouble here. Actually, we've got the Eve coming in. Nunia putting down the damage here. He's going to be going after this, though. Has got that speed up from the W. Every time the spell hits, he will get that movement speed. Will surely pick this up, but actually, no. He flashes under the tower, gets the kill, but surely he's going to die to the tower. Does not, in fact, do so, though. He is in a lot of trouble if Broken Shard finds him, though. Has got that stealth up any second now. He's actually not going to be getting caught out, though. The laser comes across, guessing where Eve might have gone. But Nunia actually just said, I'm going to take the most obvious route possible, and they'll never see it coming. And does seem to have gotten away with it. We do see Broken Shard recalling. Slightly sad in his inability to find someone, but that mid tower now goes down. We are seeing a little bit of a push coming in there from Oriana. Will not be a huge deal, I think. It's a tower, so it's going to be map control, it's going to be gold, but this dragon is probably where the next big fight is going to happen. It's going to be Varus and Nami now trying to set up the area. They have got the pink wards down. They've got pink ward in Tribe, pink ward on Dragon itself. They wouldn't know, for instance, though, with that pink ward positioning, if there was a ward just slightly outside the lip of the dragon area, but I don't think it's going to be a huge concern for them. I think they know if there are any wards there. At the moment, though, Nami has no further pink wards, whereas, in fact, nope, nobody has any pink wards. So that means that this vision control is going to remain pretty much steady. We are seeing, however, Zed pushing in that top lane, looking to try to now roam towards this dragon. If they can get there with Zed, he's going to be more valuable than Shen in terms of being able to burst down valuable targets. But Cplay don't need to make anything happen right now. All they need to do is make sure nothing gets done on them in return. But TCM have outmaneuvered them here. They've snuck around. They've said, right, we know you haven't got the vision here. We know that you've committed Shen to top, and you're just wanting to play the defensive game around Dragon. That has meant, though, that Shen will be getting a lot of farm in this top lane. Will be getting that tower down very, very low. Nunia putting down some harass on JWoww. He's going to be chasing this down. Has got that W. JWoww getting very, very low here. We've got Nunia actually not able to quite get in range for the damage. Broken Shard is taking this dragon, and Shen is available. Smite comes down. That will be the dragon there, taken from TCM. And you've got to say, they've done this very, very well. They've kind of just run circles around their opponents actually there. In fact, taking that tower and the dragon, and indeed having that that narrow escape, I'll say, from JWoww, but that was actually good from their perspective because it distracted so many members of Cplay, allowed them to get that dragon. Even if he died, that would have been just fine from the perspective of TCM. We are seeing Stan United coming in, though, on this bottom lane. Nunia is in a lot of trouble. He's very, very low. Did get that crescendo coming across. Will be getting snowballed. Is very low. Has been healed, though. Matroko now in a lot of trouble. Is going to be getting taken down by the Sun by Cape. No, actually, by Nami. Auto attack, the most piss weak attack in the game. And we are now seeing a lot of damage coming down. We do see Nami getting taken out. And excuse my French. That was a terribly rude way of saying it. But we do see JWoww continuing to push out this top lane, and will be probably able to reach that tower before anything really happens. And this is one of the marks of a good team with a good plan for their game style. It's that when they lose something, when they lose men, when they lose an objective, they are then able to take something. Although in fairness, they actually kind of won that fight at bot. But even if they had lost it, they would still have been able to make something happen here with JWoww, and it just means it gives them that advantage. It will be Kevko, though, appearing and able to take out the majority of this farm, so nothing too huge as gained there. But, yeah, everyone is now kind of in a position to try and force a fight. In fact, I'm not really sure who has the better team fight here. Probably going to give it to Cplay, just because they have that AoE synergy there. They have got that Agony's Embrace Shockwave, a Tidal Wave, and actually Kevko in a lot of trouble in here. Oh, the nice juke out there from JWoww. Dodges the Shockwave. The Death Mark was already enough, though, damage, so I'm not even sure he needed to dodge it. Will be avoiding the damage in a very stylish manner, though. So that Shadow will be utilized to its maximum effectiveness, and that is going to mean that once again, Zed getting quite scary now. 2-1, 163 CS. Oriana was actually on 210 CS. That's a lot. And actually, we now got Shantao in a lot of trouble in this bottom lane. Broken Shard getting that set up, getting the snowballs, getting the aggression out from Motroko. And that means the TCM are now in a very good state. They are just kind of controlling this game when they want to. JWoww now could be in trouble though. Nunir is getting aggressive. JWoww has no ultimate available. He may be kind of bluffing that out. We have got this slow coming down, I think, from the shadow there, but I didn't really see it proc. JWoww now in a lot of trouble. Is going to put down some damage on Nunir. Nunir trying to hang around on the side. We've got Koi putting down extra for JWoww, but can he actually take him out? No, he cannot. Does not get that kill. And meanwhile, TCM are pushing hard in this bot lane. We do see Lux in the mid, just going to be moving towards that bot to join up. And this is a 4-man push. We've got Eve committed to top lane. We've got Shen committed to top lane. No Stand United available. But it does look like TCM aren't confident on the map positions of their opponents, so they're actually not going to take as big of an advantage there as I think they could have done. They do not have the exact, my guess is they do not have the exact timer on the Stand United, so they're thinking, well, that could be up and then the enemy could force a fight on us. They actually have enough shields and enough heals, though. They could probably have just walked up to that tower, tanked it for a fairly significant amount of time with the Nunu, but in the end, not going to be too upset with their play there. They are sort of starting to well, edge a little bit ahead on gold right now. There's about you know, a 3,000 difference there, which is significant but not enormous, and they'll live with that. I think they'll be okay. They will still continue to play the split push game though. They don't really want a team fight at the moment, or 5-on-5 team fight anyway. Do you see Kefko in that mid lane? It's going to be, he's okay, he's fine, no worries, he's not even doing anything, in fact. But we are seeing just this continued split push from JWoww. He basically does what Shen does, except instead of stand uniting, he just walks back to the rest of the team. However, he pushes a lot harder and a lot faster, and he has probably better harass at the moment. Wow, that doesn't even scratch Koi, so maybe he doesn't, but he is just continuing to play the split push game. He's just trying to make sure that Shen is never free to just go somewhere and make stuff happen. He's making sure that Shen is always trapped in that top lane. And if he does go somewhere, that JWoww will be in position to just start taking towers and make something happen for his own team in return. That means that Shen has to make some quick decisions if it does come to it. If he wants to, he can always go for it. And that means that if the objective take is big enough from his perspective to sacrifice that tower, maybe even sacrifice 2 towers to JWoww, for instance a Baron, for instance multiple towers and an inhib for his own team, then that would be a really good situation for him to ult in. But like all things in life, it's never a complete certainty ahead of time how well it's going to go. So he just has to make that judgment call, which could be very, very difficult. Well, we do see, though, Nunia in this bottom lane will maybe look to make some plays happen. He's going to be stealthed up, and they do know that she's not walked through any wards, at least in the tri-brush, but I think the TCM may suspect her presence here. It's one of the things you always have to be aware of where that Eve could be, because that is just such a scary character. She's actually playing kind of a tanky Eve setup here. In fact, going for the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, gone for that Seeker's Arm Guard and the Merc Treads, and it looks also to me like she's going for Haunting Guise, so less of an assassin Eve, much more of a kind of tanky AP bruiser. Expect to see the Leandries, and that will give her a lot of sustained damage, but this could be bad here. We've actually got Matroka getting caught out once again by Nunia in the same place she was maybe about 10 minutes ago, but this is actually possibly a bad fight. We've actually got Shantal going very, very low from damage. Piltover gets the kill on Nunia. Nunia now going to be out of this fight, but Orianna is in a lot of trouble. Kevko is going to go very, very low, has been hit by the Light Binding. Double Taunt isn't going to change anything there, and that is a 4... Wait, how did... I don't know how one of them died. Koi is now in a lot of trouble, though. He's going to be taken out, and that is a full ace in the favor of TCM, trading only the support. That is a free Baron, possibly even a turret as well if they really, really want to go for it, but it looks like they're just going to take that Baron, and that is just a really bad situation for Cplay. That means they are now significantly behind on gold after this Baron. They will be behind even more, and they're going to be having to contend with the buff itself, and that is going to be huge over the next few minutes. That will mean that their previous split pushing style is going to be even stronger, because their duelists will have that big advantage. The health regen on Baron is actually really valuable on things like this Zed split push. If he goes up to that top lane with that extra health regen, Shen can jump on him, Shen can harass him, but that is risking harass in return, and Shen will not heal as fast. Shen, however, will probably take, he's Shen. He's not going to be pushed out any easier just because his opponent has some more damage, because he's just impossible to push out. Still, though, it's going to mean that TCM have a lot more room to make plays, and they've already been making plays. They've been winning out pretty much overall on this game. Just overall, in fact, there's no specific one single thing they've been doing. They've just been kind of doing every single little thing a little bit better. And that does mean now that JWoww is in a position to assassinate someone if he can find them in that jungle. It does seem, though, that Kevco knows where he is. He is in a lot of trouble here, though, Kevco. He's going to be running away with that dissonance. We'll get him out. It does seem that Cplay will kind of realize, wait, he's actually sandwiched here. JWoww and Nunu there. Broken Shard being very, very scary. We do see Zed, though, in this top lane. Going to be continuing to push that out. As you know, this is just MO for Zed. He will be just up here, up here, up here, up here. And now I'm going to try and walk and make something happen somewhere else. And then Shen will ult with me. And I will just try and be more valuable than him. Oh, it's very thematic, isn't it? Shen versus Zed. But we actually have the binding going down on Shantou. Shantou just getting destroyed in that mid lane there. 100-0'd from the binding. He never got even to flash out of that. There was no way he was getting away. And that is a really, really punishing style of play that TCM have available to them there. They can just catch someone, destroy them instantly. And that has also meant now that they have the potential to just take everything away. They can just go for this mid lane push, go for the jugular, as it were. Cleanse will be up on Shantou, I think, fairly shortly, and possibly by the time the next major fight with him involved happens. But it's showing how hard it's going to be for him, because that cleanse will only be used once, and then it'll be back on that big long cooldown again. We do see the ultimate coming in. Whoa, wow, that's a lot of damage from Caitlyn ultimate. Just putting down the harass, and Broken Shard is so tanky, so sustained. Aegis sound on him, but we now have Koi getting caught out. Actually, the Zed ult on top of it. They're just going to burst the tank here. Light binding and everything else. Shantou in trouble. Shantou going low. We've actually got Broken Shard going for this. Has actually got the heals, though, so he will be okay. We've got the Chain of Corruption locking down Belgian Beast. Broken Shard walks out with his life, though. Does actually stay alive, and we have the GG well played coming in from Cplay. They may surrender this. They are certainly in a very bad situation. Maybe not. Maybe it was just in reference to something specific that happened in the game. I don't know. I didn't see anything specific that was noteworthy. But it is the kind of thing that might have happened. Never mind. He actually just thought the game was over, but it does seem like TCM's momentum has faltered a little bit. They are still in a very scary position, as is Intox, who is walked right past the ward. Exhaust goes down on JWoww, though. Shockwave goes down. He does actually get that kill, but that is going to be a one-for-one trade, and that's, well, it's better to trade your support for someone like that highly farmed Zed assassin, but I don't think it's really going to make that big of a difference. We've actually got the light binding, we've got the laser, we've got everything following up. Kevco gets so low as a result of that burst, and Nunia is coming in now. Could he go for this engage here? Probably not. They would actually probably be unable to close with Caitlyn. Caitlyn has tons of damage. Nunia gets spotted out by that ward, will get bound, but he is going to be... Oh, Koi, that was a no Mr. President dive there. Does get in the way, but we now have Phylox actually flashing, I think, there to try and lock down Koi, but unable to do so. Nunia is going to be heading back to that spawn pad. It's just not looking good, though, right now. TCM is just a roaming death ball, and they've got such tanky characters, they've got such good heals, and they've also got such good damage and poke on towers that it's just really hard to deal with. They are just going to keep sieging down these towers, and frankly at this point Cplay would have to pull out a miracle if they wanted to win this game. They would have to be, somehow able to burst down Matroco in the first instant of the fight without letting Belgian Beast hit too much of their team with his damage. We've actually got the light binding very narrowly missing there. Matroco walks out, will avoid that tidal wave, and we also now see that TCM Baron buff is out. I think they're just going to back off and just get ready for the next major push, where they will probably look to end the game. It does seem like they've got a lot of gold to spend, got some mana to get. Yeah, they're just going to go back and set up for that final aggressive push, and I would expect to see them win the game off that. It might not, you never do quite know, but it would be a surprise. It would be a very big surprise, because they have just got such good kiting, such good sieging, and such good pick potential. They can just blow any one individual up very, very easily. And all it takes for them to do that is just that light binding to land. And that is such a scary situation to be in. However, if someone gets picked off before that happens, JWoww now could be in a little bit of trouble. Nunia is there. He's actually going in with the ultimate. We've got the Stand United on Kevko. Kevko will be keeping himself alive from that deathmark damage, but actually takes the Q to the face. We've actually got JWoww now jumping out of there. He might be able to get out. Koi is chasing this down. Phylox is there to support. We've got the Twin Shadows Ghosts kind of doing a jig in the middle of nowhere, and they're going to be chasing down Nami, which is not a very useful person, you silly spooky ghosts. But and there's going to be no kills there. Kevko will be closer to home, but JWoww isn't actually going to go back. It looks like he's going to join up with the rest of his team here. Maybe look to get some lifesteal done with that Blade of the Ruined King, and he will just be there to support his team. We do see Lux now getting chased by Nunia. Nunia not going to be able to get anything done there, though. We are seeing the bubble landing on Matroco, which is what they want, but there's too big of a front line in the way. They can't afford to just walk right past Nunu, who would slow them down too much. Phylox is too beefy in the way. We've got just all this potential damage to walk straight into as well. We've got the Chain of Corruption going down. JWoww is very, very low. He's going to be chasing down by Nunia, but Nunia unable to take him out. JWoww lives. JWoww laughs. Lake binding, and the damage coming out from Lux. The Lux laser goes down. The Lucent Singularity picks up one. We've now got Matroco tanking up the shields, but will get taken down, shot down for 500 gold. Don't think it's going to matter, though. Koi gets taken out. We've got the shields coming in. We've got the damage coming in. We've got the towers falling, super creep waves, and the Nexus should be going down any second now. TCM are going to take this game, surely, but actually, we've actually got the damage coming out from Shantao. Shantao getting Lightbound, will cleanse it, is going to go after Broken Jar here. Can he get the piercing arrow? He does, but it isn't enough, and now Kevko is in a horrible spot. He's going to dodge the laser, though, so he will be staying alive for just a little bit longer here. Lightbinding misses. Can he keep himself alive? Can he, in fact, pick up the kill? Maybe he can. This is Last Chance Saloon, but I mean, by Last Chance Saloon, what I really mean is the Nexus is going to be killed by the minions, but I was hoping to see the resolution of that fight. We will now never know whether Kevko would have outplayed Belgian Beast there, but Cplay losing that game, TCM taking that first game was the best. It is there. This is a best of 3 series, though, for the Cybergamer Steelseries challenge. This is going to be an interesting one, though. They were looking a little bit stronger in that early game, Cplay, but they just seem to kind of lose it a little bit in that early roaming phase, and that, well, we'll see how they manage to deal with it next time. They could have, maybe run with some alternate champion picks there. TCM, though, very nicely played, and we will see them after this break.